Chainlink is on fire. We are absolutely ripping today. Good morning, one. Good morning, all, to the blockchain basement. Friday morning macro / extra crypto juicy report here this morning. Welcome. I am the Druth, and it's a beautiful day in crypto. I hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic morning here, as one of the coins that I have just been an immovable object meeting an unstoppable force of FUD against Chainlink, wondering why it's sitting still, why is it ranging, why hasn't it moved? The same thing could be asked about XRP, but you will not get those breaths of fresh air like you do with Chainlink in regards to XRP. But good morning, one, good morning, all. Food is life. Nicole Tater, I think you're on your third or fourth coffee drink this morning. Shout out to you. Deadwood, what up, dude? Chili Rainbow, about to bring the Sack Nasty ornament out here. Speaking of Sack Nasty, he's in the chat. Probably ate too many edibles, it sounds like, from the morning band. This is why you got to get in on the live show. You got to see the chaos that's happening. We have the best community absolutely in all of the entire crypto space. You guys are absolutely fantastic. But we have so much to get into today, you guys. Before we do that, of course, big shout out to our sponsor, Arculus. We are powered by Arculus, the world's leading crypto cold storage platform where you can easily secure, store, even buy and send and receive your crypto with 3-factor authentication. So easy, even your grandma can do it. So I'll get you this beautiful box. You know, I've kept my box, and I have a few of these actually, and I keep the box. The box is high quality. You're going to want it. It just feels nice. It feels very bespoke. You know what I mean? But we're going to get into it here, you guys. First, got a good bellwether for how long we should expect this actual bull market that we're in to last, which matters quite a bit when we're thinking about how long to hold all of these tokens that are absolutely sending right now, and how long we have to accumulate things that haven't really started fire yet. So keep that in mind, and make sure you're smashing that like button. Good reminder, ready to hit hot fire. Make sure to hit that that like button. It helps the channel out quite a bit. But without further ado, let's get into it. We only got a half hour here. Bitcoin ETFs saw a trading volume of $5.6 billion, the highest since its previous all-time high. Just click into this for a nice representation of it. Absolutely fantastic inflows shown from yesterday's volume on the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, we put out a thread yesterday. My wonderful wife, in all of her research, agrees with me that this amazing pump that we have right now, and through this bull market, it's going to be monetarily amazing for me, myself. You know, obviously not financial advice. But we are absorbing toxic relationships with TradFi. And with that relationship and all this money inflowing into crypto, the thought that crypto was going to save us from TradFi, kind of hard to imagine when you're going to be beholden to TradFi's Bitcoin holdings that they're putting together. They have absolutely skyrocketed. Last I checked, between Fidelity and BlackRock is at 500. I would not be surprised if they're at 600,000 Bitcoin at this point. It is absolutely moving faster than we can even keep up with. But watching the flows, looks like those ETF flows are coming back. Yes, this is going to pump our bags. Will it kill Bitcoin and our chance of decentralized financial freedom? Potentially. But that's why we're taking the money. And I'm going to just purchase more land outright. And I'm going to create cash flows to handle. And you know what? Thinking about it, you know, we're going to do great. We're going to buy a couple houses, but we need to think about the taxes that exist on properties you own outright. Like, for example, my mother out in Colorado, she has a really fantastic location, right? And pretty damn near clear, but you know, the taxes on those types of situations, they go in Colorado, it's like $10K a year. So you still have to create cash flows. You have to think in that mindset to create and utilize what we're going to be capturing over the next few years here in crypto to create cash flows that last a long time. Because you know what we're involved with right now, maybe it's going to work and we can actually, you know, retain the decentralized nature of crypto even with BlackRock. But if you put those two together in the same sentence, not too likely in the long term. Just being horribly honest with you guys. This is why I am the Druth. Just calling out the ugly so we can get prepared, position your family to prosper, to not be beholden to mortgages, to, rents, for God's sakes, rents. I mean, I get the question all the time. Just capture the land while we can, folks. Now, this is from Kim Young Ju. Kim _ Young Ju, and it's talking about Bitcoin. He is talking about Bitcoin in the middle of the bull cycle. Its market cap is growing faster than its realized cap, and the trend that typically lasts around 2 years once this happens. If this pattern continues, the bull cycle may end, and he's thinking April of 2025. Holy hell. That is some interesting confluence to what I've been thinking. I was hearing out because me and Nick were looking at the shortened cycle theory when we were just absolutely jackknifing all the way up to 74. We have since settled down, and really the outlook has remained on track for a 4-year cycle. Now, my plan was to start taking profits, at the beginning of the summer of 2025. Now, this April call right here, some good confluence for me, but this chart showing kind of what he's talking about. You have the Bitcoin market cap and then the delta growth rate, the 365-day moving average. And now he's showing, I'll get my face out of the way here, that these upswings, these massive, nasty, good old upswings last around 2 years generally in crypto's history. Then you have the downswing, resetting of the system at large for, the flow. It's a halving process, a mathematical halving process for Bitcoin. So there is data. This data means a lot to me when I'm looking at it. 2 years again, from 2016 to right around 2018, mid 2018. And then you have another 2 years of really good time frame here from 2019 all the way to the end of 2022. So now where we sit right now is 1 year into this process, folks. This is 1 year. We have 1 year and honestly, I agree with this. It is nice to see some confluence from a pretty big account. And I do a terrible job at shilling myself. Guys, if you don't already follow me, I need to build out this account. Follow me at Druth Crypto. I lost some followers today because I ruffled some feathers. I reminded everyone that this is what the hex chart looks like. Everyone comes at me, well, it's wrapped on ETH Pulse Chain Hotel California of Cryptoville. That's going to be available in 15 years. And the whole argument that Pulse or Hex is valuable is all ESG based. And you've seen me tear apart that narrative over and over again. I literally used to work in the power industry. I see the loss of energy created from these idiotic systems they've tried to put in place. I've seen the losses on the bank balance sheets that have put us in the financial situation at large, on top of the exponential spending in war and the industrial complex there within. There's so much that I dislike about this graph, beyond just not liking that I see fellow people in crypto that hold this stuff that are absolutely getting wrecked. For the love of God, just pay attention to what's going on. I had to bring up, I had to take a shot, man. There was David Schwartz put out a little tweet, and he was talking about, I'm the Ripple CTO, David Schwartz, and I am on strong pain medication right now after a dental procedure. Ask me anything. I had the risky thought. I was like, you know what? Maybe he is high enough on pain meds to actually tell the truth. So I went in there and I asked him, why XRP no pump when other coins pump? And I put it very clearly with this kitty cat to try to get his damn attention. Of course, no answer was given, because the answer is they're dumping on us. The answer is they're dumping on us. The answer is ISO, honestly, if you want big upside in relation to XRP, just buy Ripple stock. Ripple Tech, gonna be used. Gonna be all over the place. Gonna be in the background. XRP token, the implementation, the use, the utility of XRP, not really. Okay, and if I'm wrong, sure, I'll admit it when I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong ever. So now we're going to look at this beautiful chart, something that actually is taking over the future of finance. Chainlink. What do you know? Unbelievable. This is stupid. So what do we got here? We got a week of pain. Honestly, it's been quite a bit of pain. We have a lot of people selling, shaking out of their Chainlink positions during this range period. And don't get me wrong, we are still trapped in this range right now. Very fearful yesterday looking at this potential head and shoulders. Look at that. We're jackknifing just like how I hoped we would, in confluence with the money flow, the M2 money supply coming back. I was looking at this and basically just betting against the head and shoulders. So far, it's worked out, yada, yada, yada. But there's a reason why Chainlink is pumping. It's not just people on Twitter. They're like, oh my God, we're going to be so bullish on this week, and then we're going to move on to the next one, right? No, there is something beyond just what is on the front end of what you see in Chainlink's involvement for the future of money and the future of really our system at large, okay? So, we look at the price chart, we see great. All right, we're doing great. People are asking me what the, let's get into why it's pumping first, but then I'll get into the actual projections for how high this thing can actually go. So let's check it out here. We got this from the Satoshi Flip. I love this guy. Link, baby, up 17%. But let's face it, the current price is a joke. Should easily be over $100 right now. People still think Chainlink is some data feed. No, Chainlink is indeed the glue that will be holding together the final version of this ecosystem where everything is tokenized and everything in traditional finance is connected to everything in blockchain and crypto. One ecosystem, the communicator between Web 2 and Web 3 with data aggregation. One ecosystem held together by this glue, the standard link. Now here is just a really simple way to explain Chainlink. If someone's asking, what is Chainlink? Why is it something that's on your radar? So this is why it's on my radar. Officially connecting banks to blockchains via existing banking standards. It's plugging into the infrastructure that exists, being reasonable about it, not forcing these banks to just hop over to Web3 and hope it works out. They're not going to do that. Be reasonable when you're looking at expectations for what these projects can do in the future. Now, this is a great way to explain it. Thousands of costly integrations into thousands of chains. On one end, you have disconnected system, siloed markets, liquidity pools. Shown here just how disconnected the system actually looks without this communication setup. And now we have Chainlink CCIP connecting all those public chains to private chains and banks, all of that included. Now, there is some sadness. Don't get me wrong. The money making me happy, right? I'm doing great. Monetarily, I feel very strong. And that, you know what? You're bringing up something good right there, Crypto Crank. We might need to turn the heat up on getting our chain swap position sooner rather than later. Chain swap's been ranging. Same with XSwap. So we're going to look at those charts as well. I'll try to get there is some macro stuff to get into as well after this, but there are some good explanations for what's going on right now. This is actually Chainlink, the official site on Twitter. Largest financial institutions bringing capital markets on chain and access to tokenized asset economy. And this is a rundown, a thread on how Chainlink is going to go through with this transformation. The DTCC announced in SmartNav's industry pilot with Chainlink and 10 major market participants. This was the announcement on the SmartNav pilot report. The new pilot with DTCC marks the latest milestone in Chainlink's foray into capital markets, from secure interoperability with SWIFT's interbank messaging standard to cross-chain asset settlement with leading institutional bank ANZ. Sounds like everything that XRP wanted to do. Right there being advertised, not really advertised, just acknowledged by Chainlink, SWIFT, and now we have these gargantuan banks getting involved too. It's going to get weird, turning the financial system into a reliable on-chain financial sector. And here it goes into the explanation of how all these RWAs actually work and are linked to Chainlink, and further explanation. So actually, I'm going to retweet this. If you guys follow me, just go through this. If you want a deep dive, more than just the few minutes I have with you here in the morning here, go to my Twitter and find this. Oh my God, what do we have here? I think we have a guest. You're going to have to turn, what is this one on? That same red button on number 2. Ooh, I am thrilled about this. Look at this. We got the wide shot? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Look at that. So lovely. Oh my gosh. How are you doing?
Very well.
This is my wife. This is my wife. Wonderful Tiana. Obviously, I'm ranting about Chainlink.
Good.
You
That's
know,
your favorite.
But, we're going through this and it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed feeling, right? The money's great. But now we face the toxic money from TradFi that will bring us down with it should the bubble burst, right?
Yeah, I have deep resentment for Jamie Dimon for talking so much trash about crypto. So.
You know, my resentment of him, crypto aggravates me, but my main resentment with Jamie Dimon is the fact that he knowingly banked Jeffrey Epstein after they found out he was running a sex trafficking ring.
Well, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money's great, but the kids matter more than money. And so, I hate that.
Yeah. I wish he'd stay out of crypto,
Yeah.
If you're going to talk trash about it, don't be a part of it.
I know.
We don't want you here.
And if the system, all right, I have actually some pretty interesting data points about the system at large and why we're worried about that actually cracking in the near term within the next 10 to 15 years. So we're going to get into that, but before we get into that, just on the price target. Okay. So what we got from, Sentiment here, talking about the market cap shooting up, yada, yada, yada. There are now 564,000 plus link whales. Damn, we're not a whale or anything, but I feel special that, you know what I mean? I feel like we're one of few that are actually hammered into this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got in pretty
well, and with size too. With size.
Yeah.
You know, it was thick.
Yeah.
So we went after it pretty hard here. And now we're talking about social dominance. If social dominance calms and the FOMO doesn't take over, Sentiment is thinking that even more bullish conditions exist ahead. Now, okay, I just laid it out. We have all of these gargantuan banks plus Swift and central bank ANZ rolling out actual use case for Chainlink. People are asking me, how high can Chainlink go tangibly, right? And now when I'm looking at this, we'll just pull out the price history that really matters. When I'm looking at price potential, I'm looking at market cap. Chainlink hit an all-time high of market cap of $21 billion, okay? But in this current environment, in this current situation, I think that we're actually more capable of accomplishing between $100 to $200 billion in market cap for this token. So, in the past, when I account for the amount of tokens that'll be out in the market, circulating supply, plus my expectations for market cap, it does land generally between the $100 to $250 range. $0 Giro, gift in the Memby, you absolute savage. Gave it to Big Daddy. Good man. Hot damn. I know. We need the buttons over here. You know what I mean?
Sound effects.
Yeah. You did pretty good. You did a pretty good job. You know what? I'm probably going to get rugged by Coin Perspective here, but let's check it out just so I can show you guys where my frame of thought goes with this thing, because I do at this point, with the velocity and the notice that Chainlink has, the verification with all these banks actually utilizing it, sure, it's going to break. If we completely absorb TradFi into crypto, it's going to break us. But it's going to take a few years. And in those few years, I do plan on buying out a few homes outright and setting aside some cash flows for my money so that, once the absolute complete collapse of our debt comes, then we'll be more insulated. And I might buy an alligator, honey.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure the kids will not have any accidents with the alligator.
I'm going to block it off. You know what? Yesterday was so hard. We went out to the park again. I have to put a first aid kit on my hip at this point. The kids keep falling.
Part of childhood.
It's so painful though. I don't want to be the jerk, no, don't do that. But it gets hard sometimes. So it looks like Coin Perspective is working for us today. That's fantastic. I don't expect a $1 trillion market cap. Let's cook this up. Let's say we hit 200 billion, kind of the top end, exciting expectations. We're going to be up to right around, I think it actually is going to be up to around 720 million link out at the time being. And that puts you at a price target of around $279. Now, this is accounting for the token inflation. Let's just cook it down. Lower end expectations for my blow off top here, right around 140 bucks. So not a bad upside. You know what I mean?
It's a great upside.
It's not a bad project.
Yeah, we've had a lot of conversations about this. I lean towards kind of more of a long-term view, I guess, that I do think that oracles will become obsolete at some point. I think that this cycle is not going to be when that happens. I think that they're going to have a really good cycle. But long term, I see that the agnostic blockchain, interoperable blockchains that don't require oracles are going to be the more efficient choice.
Well, that's what we're like. That's the end game. That's what we're trying to build out here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why we hedged into ICP.
Right.
You know?
I think ICP is definitely underrated because of that capability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, Sui's another great one.
Yeah. And Sui is interesting because its developer team was primed to handle a billion movements.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? A billion customers, not just a billion transactions, a billion customers. So pretty interesting. I showed the chat. I trolled David Schwartz at XRP yesterday, one of the founders. Why XRP no bomb, but other coins bomb? All right. So now let's talk about the macro. Yes, Mama knows crypto. She is.
I got him into crypto.
You are the one. I mean, I was watching it. You pushed me completely into the pool. Like I was like dipping my toe all the way back when, and you're like, just whoosh, you just pushed me in. We went in together. You know what I mean? It went great.
Yeah. Yeah. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been able to get in. And if it wasn't for me, we would have never gotten in.
Well, we would have gotten in, but not big enough. You know
big
what
enough.
I mean?
Yeah. He wasn't a believer. I don't think he was quite a believer.
Well, I
before.
liked bullets and beans, honey.
Yeah, he was much more into guns and gold.
Yeah,
too.
It's true.
And, I was like, I think there's something in the future that's going to be different. That is really going to
what is that
create
whole fourth
value.
turn? That whole fourth turning conversation we were having all those years ago.
Right. I read a couple books. Is that one Ray Dalio?
I think Ray Dalio is behind one of the books. But yeah, a lot of people have talked about it. And it was like the transformation of the world at large is going to move into something.
Right. And what creates value? Like what creates currency is a concept that had never dawned on me before 2020.
Yeah.
I think being in isolation, reading, I just picked up a bunch of books and started reading. And
what creates money? We were talking about this last night. Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Cinnamon is spice. This is the inner bark of many species of trees. From the genus, how do you say this, honey? Cinnamomum?
Latin name. Yep. Pretty much.
That's terrible. That's terrible to say. But the thought of what creates value, it really, like, The Wealth of Nations was a book I read that really helped kind of paint that picture in a more cohesive manner. And I remind people all the time that like spices and cinnamon, you know what I mean? Cinnamon, spices, salt, things that actually could.
Seashells,
you know, they had use case, but then they want it more divisible. They want it to be able to carry easier.
Right.
So then you get coins.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
This is the big transformation into digital proof of work for a digital economy.
Right. And Bitcoin it nails all of the key elements of a successful currency.
And that's why, we see Larry Fink and all these other organizations so damn excited about it. I love having you on the show. It's so great. All right. So we're going to talk about some stuff. There's more coming for the markets at large here, you guys. So we got to check it out. China starting to stimulate big time quantitative easing for commercial real estate coming in with an explosive move in the real estate stock sector after a decade-long bear market that caused a lot of pain. So very bullish for the overall M2 and global money supply, helping drive up gold, silver, Bitcoin, ETH, and the NASDAQ all in perpetuity. This is just a quick view of what's happening. They are pulling some serious levers on the money printer over in China, and the entire world will experience that. It's a trickle-down effect, just as we look at Bitcoin pumping, trickle-down effect. Now Chainlink's up 20%, looking like a savage. It's the same thing that happens on the macro world. So I feel good about the Chainlink stuff.
I know you do.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean.
Yeah.
We're in a bet.
Yeah.
So which is going to be worth more? Chat, you let me know. What is going to be worth more?
And you have to put a time frame.
Yeah. Well, okay. Mid 2025. What is going to be worth more? One Chainlink or one ICP token? You tell us. We're in a battle.
I push my time frame out to 5 years.
You can't do
next
that.
Cycle.
No. Then I'll lose.
ICP is going to be the winner long term.
Then I'll lose. You can't do that. You know, and I love when you make me
definitely win.
I love when you make me feel like I'm such a winner. You know what I mean?
You are.
Like. Yeah, it makes me feel really good.
Yep.
You know? Yeah. GameStop not doing great here, guys. GameStop files to sell up to 45 million shares. entered into the open market sale pack. Game shares extended pre-market decline to 22%. Man, I mean, and they're probably a little late. Anyone getting in on this thing, I mean, sure, the chaos can come back. I still doubt that Roaring Kitty's even like behind that account. I have not seen a live stream. I agree with Nick. Man, people coming at you here. Let's see here. So we got link. Oh, I'm winning this. I'm winning this.
Near, I like Crypto Pew Pew because I am heavily invested in Near.
We actually just built a more aggressive bag of Near.
I convinced him.
Let's see. Oh my God. All right. So let's see here.
We needed more.
Yeah, we did need more. So we got down to $20 on GameStop. So not great.
Rough.
Be careful being behind the talking heads. Now let's talk about this. Based on the exact mathematical slope of the M2 money supply's exponential growth with a 99% fit, I asked GPT to calculate when the US dollar will become hyperinflationary if the 65-year trend continues. This was the exact response. Estimates coming from this chat GPT are saying mid-2030s for severe risks of hyperinflation, 2040 as a critical turning point for hyperinflation being inevitable if left unchecked. It's officially time to put AI in charge of our monetary policy.
Hey.
That's an interesting take, right?
All right.
It's a pretty interesting take. If it's like an actually, objective and reasonable AI, there we go.
If AI can be as great as it could be, it would be much more trustworthy for governing.
Hun, I want to freak you out a little bit. I've seen a few more OpenAI people resign. We've had like 3 in like a week.
Did they say why?
They have not said why. Very unsettling.
Non-disclosures.
Very unsettling. And so what does it look like when your money hyperinflates? We have kind of a fun little example of that. We're going to show this. Let's get the sound on. And it will echo if we talk while it's going. I need to get that fixed someday, but here we go.
Money from countries that have inflation.
$1, $5, $10, $20, $100, $500, $1,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, $10 million, $50 million, $100 million, $200 million, $500 million, $1 billion, $5 billion, $10 billion, $20 billion, $50 billion, $10 trillion, $20 trillion, $50 trillion, and the last $100 trillion.
My God. So there you have it, folks. That's what it looks like when things get out of hand over the long term. Here's Zimbabwe dollars. Just a scary reminder that the whole reason that we're in crypto and we created Bitcoin was to literally stop that situation from coming to the United States, coming to the world reserve currency. It looks like we're just, rather than fixing the problem by creating a parallel system, we have since absorbed the sickness. And now we share the same sickness that chat GPT system laid out for us. Our money will actually become hyperinflationary between 2035 and 2040 if we don't stop what's actually happening right now. It's a pretty scary time. And, if you don't think that the Fed is the only scam out there, here's just a quick reminder that after years of denials, the NIH Principal Director Lawrence Tabak admitted to Congress that the U.S. taxpayers funded gain-of-function research at Wuhan. Indeed, this is verified. This is validation, but years too late. And I'm far too pissed to come back from. You're not going to talk me off this ledge, folks. They took years from kids' lives. They took years of development from kids, with the masks. You can't analyze what someone that's raising you feels. if they have a mask on, you lose that emotional connection. That was one of the biggest aggravations with it.
I was pregnant with twins during the whole mask pandemic, and I oftentimes felt like I was going to pass out.
Yeah, that
because I was not getting enough oxygen in those masks.
Not helpful.
No,
not helpful. And you're pulling oxygen for 3 total people.
Yeah, very contentious.
Incredible. So, absolutely crazy. Now, here we go. We're going to DC Discover Crypto. It's been an amazing morning show. The charts are looking juicy. Absolutely fantastic having you on the show, honey. Absolutely fantastic. Now, we're going to get after it, you guys. I hope every one of you are having a very blessed, wonderful morning here. It's Friday. It's going to be a great weekend. Shout out to all of you. We got in the chat, KO Kev, myself, Aaron Curry, a.k.a. Thigh Meat, Thuck, Ukraine, Ready Hit Hot Fire, C90FTW, Laserface, and the Deadwood. Killed by Death. That sounds terrible. That's an OG thing. And David Lee Luthon. What's up, dude? So I appreciate every single one of you. We're going to be heading out, getting the next set of shows together. Got some editing to do, getting ready for the weekend. But appreciate all of you. Goodbye. We will see you very soon.